What's up, everyone? Welcome to tonight's show of Unveil Paranormal. I have a very special guest with us tonight. I'm super excited for this one. It's a gentleman I've just now gotten the first opportunity to ever speak to face-to-face. I can't wait to get to know him and share him and his story with everybody. So without further ado, we're going to bring in the one and the only, we all know him, Howard Pitre. Welcome.
What's up?
Not much. And as everybody can see, we have William here also on the show. And then just a reminder, everybody, you can ask questions to Howard. I'm assuming, Howard, you're willing to answer just about any question that comes your way tonight.
I'm going to try to. I don't know how far I'll get into answering questions. We might just have we might jump back into the corn deal. I mean, I don't know. We might talk about corn.
Yeah.
We did last night about the Pitre dish. That was 2 hours of talking about corn.
Yeah, they discussed that last night, and I'm in Indiana, so I know a little bit about corn. So we'll see where we get to. But I do, Howard, at least want you to introduce yourself if you could, and kind of tell everybody that does not know, which I don't know how they don't know who you are, get to know Howard Pitre. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Sure. Let's see. Well, first, it was like 53 years ago. I came out of my mama's vagina, and I'm.
Is that how that happened?
I was healthy. I was a 8-pound, 4-ounce little boy.
How about this? When did you get into the paranormal? Because that's what the show's about. Not about you coming out of the hoo-ha.
Well, you wanted to know. I was just going to fill you in. I've been in the paranormal field for about 30 years, on and off. I was out of it. I did it for about 20, and I got out of it for a little while. And actually, I was with MUFON for a little bit, and then got back into it right after the passing of my daughter.
Okay. Awesome. And you do paranormal investigating, and we're not going to really talk about it, but you do demonology. And yeah, so that's what you've been doing.
Carl Johnson is my mentor. He's my rock. He's a great guy. He's got his own show that he does, and I tell people to go watch it. The man has so much knowledge. It's unbelievable. I mean, he knows dates, and I mean, I'm just amazed by how he can just store all that in his memory. So I mean, yeah, my hat's off to Carl. He's a great guy, and I love that man to death.
Awesome. So was there anything that kind of triggered you into getting into the paranormal? Like, did you have experiences as a child, or what kind of got you into it?
Yeah, when I was younger, I was about 4 or 5 years old. I woke up one night, and I guess a lot of paranormal investigators, from what I spoke with, had the same thing basically happen to them, but not the same type of person I had. I had my great-grandfather staring at me. Woke up and he was solid, and it freaked me out. I mean, if you're 4 or 5 years old, you don't know what's going on. Somebody standing in front of you, and then all of a sudden I knew who it was.
Okay.
He just dissolved right in front of me, and I went screaming into my mom's room, and the first thing she tells me is that that's your papa. He's asking for prayers.
Oh, okay.
We have a whole different outlook down here in the South. You know, it's not, we don't look at nothing in a negative way. We try to look at things in a positive way.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. So you said that you talked to your mother. So has she experienced him visiting also?
Well, I don't know. My dad just tell me stories that my mom used to see elephants and stuff in the room. And
oh, really?
But she was on medication at the time.
Oh, okay. So you're not too sure what she was seeing, if it was
I'm not sure at
all. Hallucinations.
But I mean, living down here, everything we down here, it's a lot of paranormal. I mean, you can't kick a rock. You can't go walk in your front yard and kick a rock, and there's a story behind that rock.
Really?
I mean, everything has a story behind it.
Wow. I know up here it's a lot of Native American stuff, but down there you guys had a lot of different. I mean, you dealt with a lot of different history than we did up in the north. Really?
Oh,
I mean,
yeah,
it was different.
I know the city of Chicago burned down one time.
Yeah.
One time, and they keep talking about it, man. It's like that's old, man. You know, come on. Well, Chicago burned down, the Great Fire in Chicago. I'm not saying it's not a good thing, but I'm just saying New Orleans actually burned down twice.
Did it?
Oh yeah, it burned down twice. And a matter of fact, Nick Muley, he's always telling me, well, the fire in Chicago. Okay, well, you know, it's getting played out, Nick. You know, we know about that one fire, okay? But try two fires, you know, and then we had cholera that swept through the city, and one place that we go investigate a lot at and I love these people, is Voodoo Authentica. It's off of Dumaine Street in the French Quarter, and matter of fact, during the cholera outbreaks, you can tell where the old part of the city is, in the newer part, by the cobblestone streets. And they have a cobblestone street there. And I found out through some research that they used to take a lot of the cholera patients after they died and stack them up in the middle of the street. And it was so high, they would stack them up like it was a firewood. You know, I mean, they were deep. I mean, they were way up there. They would just stack them up like that, and just to get rid of the bodies.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's history right there. And then even recent history with all the, hurricanes and other things that have devastated Louisiana.
We're planning on doing an investigation I talked to Andrew Gonzalez. There was a nursing home in Louisiana. The administration left, and the nurses and, the caregivers left. And they left all the residents there. And this is a nursing home. And the levees broke. That's when the levees broke. And all these people died in that nursing home.
Oh, my gosh.
And we've been trying to get in there and do an investigation. Because can you imagine just being elderly, or you just have this, a little bit of dementia, or you're just confused. And all of a sudden you're laying in bed and water's coming up all around you and you drown to death.
Yeah, no. And then just the mental state of some of those patients, not even on, their mental state as it sits, on top of the tragedy that's occurring right in front of them. Right. I mean, it would be pure chaos, I would think.
Oh yeah. So we want to get in there. I've also tried to get into, we've tried several times to get into the old, name of it, it's the old charity hospital. And during Katrina, they were euthanizing patients that were on life support and stuff like that. They were actually killing people in that hospital after Katrina because they didn't have no electricity. Right. And they couldn't use the ventilators, anything like that. So they were actually killing people to try to ease their pain.
Wow. See, these are stories that only the locals probably know. You know what I mean? Because you're local there and you guys get all the input. That's terrible.
I mean, I've seen people where they're floating in the streets, and they would actually ask you, if you see somebody floating by, tie them to a lamppost or tie them to something where they wouldn't float out into the river, Mississippi River.
Wow. Yeah.
And that's, it's a shame, but that's what they were doing. They were actually tying people to posts. I went back 2 weeks, actually it was about 2 months later. We went back, and a friend of mine said he was looking for his grandmother. They tried to locate her. And we went to her house. And of course, when you have a flood that comes in through your house like that, the furniture is not going to stay the same, unfortunately. Right. It's just, this stuff's going to move around and switch. Yeah. So we broke in. We finally got in through the front door. They had a bunch of furniture against all over the place. And in the middle of the room was his grandmother. And she's been there for that long. And we tried moving him. So we got him, my buddy out. We didn't want him to see that. And we couldn't move her because she actually was decomposing into the carpet, and she was stuck. So we had to cut the carpet all around her, and we brought her to the makeshift morgue.
Wow. That's crazy. So yeah, the history down there is just probably full of death and despair. I mean, hands down. And on top of that, I know, well, and then of course we have slavery and all that occurred down there in the South. So, we just, up here, I'm sure there were still issues similar, but it's not the same as it was down South. So, yeah, that's crazy. It sounds like a lot down there. A lot of things can contribute to the paranormal down there, for sure.
Oh, it's everywhere. I mean, like I said, you can't kick a rock and there's not a story behind it. I mean, there's something everywhere. I mean, there's not a place you can go in anybody's house, and it's either the property or the house that's haunted. There's got something going on there. And we're doing that. Matter of fact, we're doing an investigation tomorrow night in Metairie, Louisiana. It's right outside of New Orleans. And we did the research, and one of the previous owners actually hung himself in the attic of the house.
Okay.
So the owner of the house now, he's complaining that something is going in there, pulling the sheets off his bed and pulling his feet. It follows him to work. You can hear him. It's like it's in his head. And of course, when you're a paranormal investigator, you want to make sure there's nothing there psychological. You want to make sure he's not suffering from schizophrenia and all that. But he seems like he's well leveled. His mannerism is really great. Matter of fact, he's got a great paying job and everything, from what I'm being told. And it's just that this thing is attached to him. Whatever it is, it's in that house, and it's just following him around. So that's what we're going to be doing tomorrow night. It'll be fun.
Yeah, it actually sounds pretty fun. I mean, I love investigating, period, but it is an honor when you get to help families out. You know what I mean? So you get to residentials are just something else. They're something else. But it sounds like that you actually do your due diligence and you consider mental health as a issue. Do you probably consider any type of medications they're taking or anything like that to see if that can affect what they're experiencing, those type of things. So yeah, and those are all important. We all know, experienced paranormal investigators know that stuff's important to know. Yeah. So because if people could be having experiences and they're not really paranormal, but you got to weed out all the things that it could be and then look at the paranormal.
I mean, I see my psychiatrist, and it was great when I met him. I mean, I met him actually at a Motley Crue concert. And
did you?
Oh yeah, he's a psychiatrist, and he gives me some good prescriptions. I don't have to go to the store. I get my prescriptions from him. Yeah. I don't know why. But anyway,
then he's then he has to be a psychiatrist. Just
I don't know. He doesn't. He said he'd never been to school though, but he's a psychiatrist.
Well, it might be something else then.
Well, I mean, it makes me feel good, so I'm all right.
Hey. Whatever, as long as you're not hurting yourself or others, whatever eases your pain.
Is his name Dr. Feelgood?
What'd you say, Will?
Is his name Dr. Feelgood?
Oh, is his name Dr. Feelgood?
I don't know. It might be.
Find out. We might need to know. We might need to talk to your doctor sometime.
Oh, he says his name is Enrique, but he says just call me Bill. I was like, come on, really?
Enrique, call him Bill.
Yeah, he's a good guy. I mean,
oh goodness.
Especially those prescription bottles, they ain't got nothing on them. I mean, that's kind of tripped me out. Some pills are different each week. I don't know.
Yeah. One week it's a pink pill, the next week it's a blue pill. Like they all work, so who knows, right?
Yep. He says inhale this afterwards, and he's like he's got this little pipe.
Well,
he said that'll help your lungs. Yeah, it'll help your lungs. It's okay. No, I'm joking, people. I don't do that. The only drugs that I do, I'll be honest with you, is Tylenol, and I'll eat the hell out of Tylenol. I do. I mean, that stuff it's a lifesaver for me. Because,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm an old man. Hell, I'm falling apart. I walk in the yard. I look behind me. I'm like, did I lose anything this week? You know, and if I did, I'd go get something. I'll get it replaced. You know, that's, you know.
You can't get it replaced.
I'm on I got Medicare. I mean, that's it. I just go, you know.
Yeah. Just go
Go
take
to the
care
hospital,
of
just sew it back on. I'm all right, you know.
it. Right on.
Oh Lord. Yeah, but right now I'm trying to be kind of mellow. This is your show, and I don't want to go all crazy on you because I do have a reputation. My shows, like I was telling you earlier, Clarissa, on my shows, I'm one person on the shows, and then I'm a totally different other person in my personal life.
Yeah, tell us about your shows. Actually, tell us which ones you're on and stuff, so everybody knows too. And tell us.
Okay, I have a Paranormal Swamp Talk, and that's a show that we basically do discuss the paranormal. My other hosts on the show are Rosie Page, and you might have seen her on the Spectral Sailor, and Crystal Kohler. And Crystal keeps me in line. You know, she's like the mom of the show.
Yeah, but that sounds like Crystal.
But I'm like the 18-year-old guys. You ain't telling me what to do, man. I'm a man, you know. There's rules to this, you know, since we went to this new network. There's rules, and there's like 3 or 4 pages of them. Yeah, I broke all of them the first episode. I mean, and I'm out to do that. So, I mean, but that's a really good show. It's fun to do. Long feeling. Oh Lord. Yeah, that's a good show. I mean, we do discuss. We have great guests that come on that show, and we try to focus on things that's here in the South on that show. Then I have what they call the Pitre dish, and that show is NC-17. Okay. We drop F-bombs, and we'll start off with the paranormal in the beginning, and then by the end of the night, we're talking about what color drawers I'm wearing. I mean, I don't know. It's like a fat kid in a candy store that's on Adderall. I mean, I mean, I'm all over the place. That show goes everywhere. And a good example of that is like last night, 2 hours of nothing but about corn.
About corn.
We was interviewing Ricky Hellett, and we did about 5 minutes with him and seeing who he was about and everything, and then the rest of the time it was corn. and matter of fact, the show after us, I think it's Alabama Skeleton Key that came on after us. They carried this. The people that were watching our show went to that show and carried on the whole show in that show. I mean, in the chat room, just talking about the show, you know. So, it was crazy. But
we're gonna have to start changing the network to the Corn Network or something, you know.
No.
It's gonna be corn all day long, every day.
It's that show. I mean, and you on Pun TV, correct?
Yeah, I'm on. Still on Pun.
And I love Stephen Woodard. I love Crystal. They're great people. I mean, they're just awesome. They are awesome people. I can't talk highly enough about them. That's unfortunate where, you know, what happened to me with I had to take my shows away because, and we, you know, me and Steven discussed it and stuff like that. And later on, and it's just shit happens, you know, shit happens. And one day I don't know yet. I'd like to see if I could maybe cross stream and some of this, you know, back to Pun and stuff like that. Maybe, I don't know. I'm still trying to figure things out right now. I love that. I mean, that's family to me. They're a family. But yeah, Steve and Crystal, great people. We went to Fear Fest. I was there at Fear Fest, and we had fun there. I made chicken and sausage gumbo for everybody, so they all got some. Oh yeah, they love that stuff. Man, they couldn't get enough of it. But since day one, Steven came up to me, and I was talking with another person, with Steven one night, just chatting, and he says, you need to do another show. And then the other person said, well, yeah, you can call it the Pitre dish. So I was like, I already have one show, and that was enough for me. And I said, okay. And I said, well, y'all going to help me out? Oh, yeah, we'll help you out. We'll help you out. You know, everybody's willing to help you.
Yeah.
And nobody helped me. Nobody. I was stuck. And it pissed me off, and I wanted the show to get canceled. I did. I was going to do my damnedest. I wanted Facebook to ban me. That's what I was looking for.
So that way the show's the way it is.
Oh, there's Irene. Hey, Irene. And Bridget. Bridget's in there too. I tried my damnedest, and matter of fact, Jeremy was on. He was a host on the show with me, and Adrian Hart.
Okay.
So they're doing their own thing, and they didn't need help. And we went all the way up to the night before. That's why you have on there, please stand by. I was taking it from those 50 shows and stuff like that. When and all of a sudden you see technical difficulties, please stand by.
Right.
So my premise was with that show, you had to tune in to see who was going to be on the show. Was it going to be, or what would the whole topic of the show was going to? We didn't promote people. We didn't promote what we were going to talk about, and nobody helped me get guests or anything. So the very first show, I had Jeremy come on there. Who's the guest? Please stand by. And he's like, what? And Adrian's, so I went live, and I didn't have shit. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I don't, let me know. I didn't have anything, and so the first thing that popped in my head was venereal diseases. I'm trying to get this shit canceled. I'm serious. And I said venereal, and somebody said, what's that got to do with the paranormal? Well, ghost crabs. Do you still feel them after they're gone?
Ghost crabs. Oh my!
And it's been like that ever since. I mean, people come up there, and I tried to change the show quite a few times, make it more serious, more news related and stuff like that.
Right.
And that Pitre dish would just slip right back in there. And then Adrian would be like, staring at the screen. She didn't know what to say. Anything. Now Adrian's on board with it. I mean, the first night of our show she was dropping F-bombs like crazy. I was like, wow, you go, girl. And to this very day, Facebook has not banned me. They have not censored me or anything. I mean, I get on here and I start talking about all kind of craziness.
Yeah.
I mean, it like I said, it goes all over the place. It's about different things. It has a stronger following than my original show, which is the Paranormal Swamp Talk. And it was like, I have more fans on that page than I do with the Pitre. Pitre dish is like, and that show I wanted to fail.
Yeah.
I still wanted to fail. I mean, that's what my goal is. I want to push Facebook and see how far that somebody can actually do something before Facebook says, that's enough. This asshole's out of line, Just ban me or something, man. But look, I love that. I'm here. She's got the little corn up there.
Yeah. I don't have any pictures of corn. Should I add a picture of the corn?
But I mean, a lot of people ask me about the demonology part. I mean, and I'm gonna be honest with you. That's why I don't talk about demonology that much, because I got made fun of, and I made it to where it's part of me. What they made fun of me about, and it's been, that's how people know me now. We were talking about the demonic figure that came. It was during the crucifixion of Christ. And of course, when you hang someone on the cross like that, when you're dying or you're dead, that your body releases all bodily fluids. And the bottom of these crosses were full of fecal matter and stuff like that. Well, a demon formed from that. I can't think of pronunciation. Matter of fact, we were talking about it, and I mentioned it, and somebody said, Howard, there's no such thing as a shit demon. So I said, okay. So I brought in Carl Johnson, and he verified it for me. There is a fecal demon, and
really?
And was like, okay. And so I started with that, and I started calling it toilet demons and stuff like that. And I was on Pun, and Steven said, came to me, said, you can't be talking about that stuff like that. You can't talk, you have to stop it. He would laugh about it, but he said, I had to stop. So I changed the name of it from toilet demons to brown trout fishing. So I tried to make it a fishing thing. So that didn't work. So it went from that to aquatic entities demonologist.
Right. Yeah. That's how we know you. So.
Yeah.
Which I actually, I'm a very open-minded person, so I'd love to hear the story about where the whole aquatic entity demonology came from anyway. So I'm glad you shared that. We do have one question. Do you want to take a question, Howard? Oh, nice. Is the plunger like the salt or like it's one of those things?
I just, matter of fact, I told them last night. I just recently put in. I have a bidet.
Yeah.
I put in a bidet, and then I went to Walmart, and it caught my eye. It was pretty awesome. This is light that you can put on. It mounts on the side of your toilet, and it goes down, and it lights up your toilet when it's dark. You get different colors and stuff like that. You can make it do all kind of weird stuff in your toilet. So now when I go to the bathroom, I got my light thing going on. I got my bidet. I mean, I'm hooked up.
Yeah.
Well, it's hooked up. I love my bidet.
Living fancy there.
Oh, it is. I mean, it's better than running a hose pipe in there. That's the Cajun thing. You just run a hose pipe. It's a bidet. What's your question? I think it's Joshua.
Yeah, do you want to answer that one? It's up to you.
What was your most terrifying encounter with a demon? Oh, Joshua, hey man, how's it? Joshua was on last night too. Good to see you again, Joshua. I believe he's in Florida.
Yeah, he did say something about that.
The most terrifying thing, I mean, the most terrifying
maybe not
encounter.
Demon, but maybe encounter in general.
It's actually, yeah, I do. And it kind of shakes me to this very day. I was telling you about my house already before the show. Yep. And we have pictures of my house. As a paranormal investigator, you never investigate your own home because you can taint your own evidence and stuff like that. So, if you're just playing around and just check, that's one thing, but you cannot, you don't investigate your own home. So I had 3 different teams come in, and I got one picture of this thing that's on top of my house. You can see an orb, a bright orb, and right below it, it's a mist. Okay. And in the mist, you see this weird looking face, and you see these 3 horns that wrap to the back of its head. And then you see some kind of mist, and then you see a leg. It is a leg, and on the end of it, it's a hoof. So, that to me, it freaked, and would make it freak. If I was at somebody's house, that wouldn't be as bad, but this is on top of my house.
Yeah, I know, right? That's another thing.
And I tell you, Sundays at my home for about 9 months, 10 months, every Sunday morning, we can hear something because I have a metal roof on top of my house. And you can hear something all from one end of the house to the other end of the house.
Every Sunday morning?
Every Sunday morning. Weird. Specifically Sunday. It was like clockwork. And then people would say, oh, that's just an animal. Well, I know the difference between a 4-legged animal and a 2-legged person. I can hear that. I grew up in Louisiana. Shit, I know. 4-legged things we want to eat,
Right.
There are some 2-legged animals we eat. Chicken and stuff like that. But you ain't gonna have a chicken running on and making that kind of racket on top of your roof, So yeah, and it's like that. That was going on for a while, every Sunday morning. And my fiance can verify that for me. She's the one who just she woke me up to it the first time when she started hearing it. Yeah. So I was like
Wow.
listening to this every Sunday morning like clockwork.
Yeah. Yeah.
Different times in the morning.
I mean, just being a medium and sitting here, you know, it feels very active behind you. I don't know what all you have back there because it's really dark, but
yeah, well, it's just the animals. Well, listen, no, they all gone.
so
I have a bunch of animals.
You got living stuff back there moving around too, huh?
No, it isn't. Well, I got one. I got a border collie. He's on the couch, but he's sleeping.
Yeah.
That's why the lights are off. They got to get their beauty rest.
Oh, gotcha.
That's my fur babies.
Yeah.
Yeah. We got fur babies. We got I got pigs. I got chickens. So on the I got a little thing. Oh yeah. It's just Pitre's pork and poultry. You know, on it I have a little sign, Pitre's pork and poultry on it. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Zombie apocalypse comes, baby. I got bacon and eggs.
Hey, we're heading south. Irene is wondering if you not Irene. Vivian is wondering, do you think you bring those to your home? Do you think you bring any of those spirits to your home? Think it's you, or what do you think? No,
because when I do investigations, I cleanse myself. We all do a cleansing. We do prayers and cleansing. We do that. But I do go to the cemetery a lot because of my daughter.
Okay. Yeah.
And I kind of watch what happens with that, you know. I mean, I bought tape recorders and stuff just to try to capture her talking to me and stuff like that. And it never worked because she's not there. Her body's there, but she's not there.
Right.
But there's, I mean, I don't think I have been attacked, and I've had an attachment before.
Okay.
And that was from a really, oh, look, it's Nick the Corn.
It's the corn guy.
Yeah, it's this one place we went to was in a little bit north of Bogalusa, Louisiana. And the name of the place was the Devil's Wood Yard. And there must have been about 50, 75 graves in this little cemetery. And 95% of the graves were children 1 and under, which freaked me out. And because, I mean, how can you have so many? And they were different times at different years. You know, it's just babies. And I was like, this is a baby cemetery or something? And so I ran across one grave, and it was it had a beautiful headstone, and it had a footstone, and it said Mother. And so I walked up to it, and I said, hello, Mother. And it felt like somebody took a baseball bat and hit me in the back of the head. It was like a massive headache. And I guess she was letting me know that she was there, and she didn't want me talking to her or something. I don't know. And so I walked off, and about 10 minutes later, I said, well, I've gotten something, you know, and my mail reader was going off, and I had a REM pod there, and it was blinking a little bit on and off. And so something was there. So I went back to it, and I said, okay, Mother, if I offended you, I'm sorry, but how can I help you, Mother? And she hit me again. Same spot.
Don't you dare refer to her as that. Maybe that's what she's thinking.
Well, no. William, if somebody hit you, and if it was your mom, and he was like, you're going to say some profanity. You know, I don't care who you are. You're going to say something. And when she hit me that second time, I looked down at that grave and said, you bitch. And when I did that, oh, yeah, it was on. She followed me for 5 days. I had to get a Catholic priest to actually bless
me. Oh, my
gosh. And you had to get rid of it.
That's wild.
And come to find out, I had some mediums and some psychics talk to me and read it for me, and while I had her with me, and they told me it was her wanting me to help her find her baby.
Okay.
But if I would have helped her, you know, she didn't have to do all that craziness. I would have helped her, but she's an asshole. She hit me. So I mean,
right. Like, you have to treat me better than that. You want some help.
You want help? I mean, hell, I'm gonna help you, but you ain't gonna do that to me. And there's another place we went to, is a Mandeville Cemetery, and I was with John Doherty, I don't know if you know John.
I know names. I know that name. I've seen it.
John. Matter of fact, he just sent me a thing. He's doing some gaming show right now. But anyway, we did we was doing a little investigation in the Manville Cemetery, and we ran across this one grave. All the top part, it was old, and the top part was in English, but the bottom part was in some kind of Celtic writing or something. And in Louisiana, you have a mix. It's gumbo here. We call it a gumbo city. You have, of course, you have the French. You have the Spanish influence, because that's all of the French Quarter, Spanish influence.
Yeah.
You have Italians. You have the Irish, and you have Germans here.
Gotcha. Okay.
Because that's from World War II. They actually staged the prisoners of war they would bring here between Louisiana and Mississippi. They had POWs here in Germany. So, where was I going with this? So you have a little bit of gumbo of everything that's going on here, and I've done that brain fart now. See, that's why we go all over the place on the Pitre dish.
Thanks.
Yeah, but we that's why I keep notes. I was just sitting here and just write notes all night long. Keep on track on things.
I got my notes too. We're good.
And Josh says Portuguese too. I have not seen Portuguese here.
Isn't he in Florida though?
He's in Florida.
Yeah.
But it's a gumbo of people here, and different. Anyway, with the cemetery, so evidently they had some Irish immigrants or somebody, Irish people buried there.
Yeah.
So we're sitting around and we getting all kind of stuff, and I was there with Corey, one of my guys on the team, and Corey's an awesome guy. He's a tech man. He knows his stuff, and we caught some shadow play and stuff like that. And we had a K2 out there. We had a male reader REM pods and all kinds of stuff, and John was asking questions. So in Louisiana, this grave was unique because it was rounded. They even have some old wooden crosses in there. That's how old the cemetery is. And it had a rounded one in there. Like I said, it had the top part was in English and the bottom was in Celtic. And around it, it had like a border, like a chain border, like a cement border around it.
Right.
The grave. So it was like, man, it's getting late. I'm just sitting down here. I'm tired. I'm just going to sit on the side. John sat on the other side. So we asked a question, and sure as shit, this voice comes across, and he's got it. I told him to send it to me. Hey, Carl, how you doing, brother? It says, "Get off me tombstone." And I mean, it was a deep voice. Yeah. It had an accent, everything. And I looked at Johnny, went, whoa! And Howard got off that tombstone. Howard got into his car. Howard drove out the freaking gate. Howard wasn't playing with this song, but
right.
But yeah, that was one bit of evidence that we caught. That was really great piece of evidence.
Oh wow, yeah,
with EVP.
That's pretty wild. Out of all entities, though, I mean, when the entities talk to you in that deep voice, it's creepy. It doesn't matter if it's a little Irish man or what, but
I mean, we did one in the house here, and we was all sitting. They had a spirit box in the middle of my living room, and they had people in the back part of the house. They had people in the kitchen. They had other people in other parts of the house, outside and stuff. And they were asking questions. And of course, when you do something like that, you get a lot of negative stuff comes in first. You have some cursing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then it stopped. And then usually it's like one word stuff, dog, love, something like that,
right.
Shit, or something, And all of a sudden, it was two words that came across, and everybody stopped. And my eyes got big when it said this. Okay. And it's like, what is that what it said? And what we came across was Sally House.
Really?
And I would know, what the hell's that got to do with my home?
Right.
So yes, Sally House came across. So I'm like, whoa, this is freaky stuff.
Huh. That's weird for it to, because that's another popular paranormal place, correct? Like,
Right.
Where's it located? I can't remember where it's
That's in
located.
Kansas.
So
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe there's a link there. Maybe something to look into.
I'm gonna see. I'm gonna see if I can send you this picture. Let's see. Yeah. And have you seen a picture of my daughter?
Probably. I probably have. I mean, just because, we're friends and stuff, if you've ever posted anything with her.
Oh yeah, she's got her own foundation, so yeah, she's always around somewhere. Way up there. Okay, that's one picture. That's my daughter coming in.
Okay.
And
I
then
on Facebook.
Okay, I just wanted you to get an idea of what she looks like. And this is one picture that we took. It's a reflection.
Oh, I love her.
She was 24 years old when she passed.
Was she?
And she was pregnant. She was in the second trimester of pregnancy.
Oh.
But we was doing, when you're doing investigations, when you take pictures, you want to check everything. You want to check mirrors. You want to check reflections off of pictures and stuff like that. And this was taken in the hallway of my home, and nobody noticed it until one of the other investigators saw it, and it freaked them out. It did.
Okay.
And I was like, because I'll let you see it first. Let's see if I can find it, because I got so much crap on my phone. I just pulled it up today, showed somebody. But it was a reflection off of I have in the hallway. I have a fisherman's prayer, and I have a Arabic Jesus on it because Jesus was Arabic. I mean, I don't care who anybody. Jesus was not white. He was Arabic. He came from an Arabic country, right?
Yeah.
Well, let's see. Get close. Oh, I finally found those pictures of where at the Mandeville Cemetery. Wow, didn't even know they had that, and of the property. That's weird. Well, anyway, this is a reflection of her peeking out of the window, out of the doorway, because she was diagnosed with schizophrenia. She had PTSD because she was raped when she was younger.
Gotcha.
She was also see, when I don't want to see it, it's there, and when I need it, it's then disappeared.
Yeah.
But she was diagnosed with that. She was manic depressant. She was she had social anxieties. So at the time when they took the picture, she was there. It is there. And that's what they captured in the hallway of my home.
Okay, I'm gonna make this big. All right, so you're wanting me to compare pictures.
Oh yeah, you can.
I got to do it on this screen. My screen that you're on. So now I can't see you.
That's fine. I'm not that good looking.
I got an idea. I'm gonna look at it on my phone because my screen's darkened.
So see, I think I can see it from this angle.
Now I got a before and after shot of this picture. I'll share it to you. This is in front of my home. That's one picture that's coming in, and then you have a second picture of the stuff that's on top of everything that's going. You can see orbs. You can see all that black. There was a blackness coming.
Do you want me to share any of this on the show so people can see it or no?
Yeah, you can.
Okay. Let's do that because so then everybody can see what we're looking at here. So let me grab.
Then I got some pictures of when I was in a cemetery. It's a Creole Indian cemetery. It's Creole people that's buried in Indians. And you can actually see, Stephen was like, he freaked out when he saw it.
Really?
You can see, I'll let you see it and you tell me
Okay.
which.
Okay. So let me grab this because I want. Okay. So share screen.
Oh, and you ain't got to worry about the 13th dimension. Screw those guys.
Yeah, they're next. Okay, can you guys see that? Okay, and just ignore all my many tabs. I have lots of tabs. So this is, her name is Jessica, is that right?
Jessica Marie Pitre. Yep.
Okay. So this is Jessica, beautiful young lady, by the way. I love her soul. Like, it feels so good to me. I'm a medium, by the way, so I'm not being a creep, I promise. And then, not that, this way. So here's the photo you were referring to. Which, yes, I see what they're referring to. So, like, if you look, the nose is much more elongated, which is similar to hers, how hers sits. And the deepening of the eyes, she has very deep eyes set. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I could definitely see why they would be making a reference to that. And then these photos I haven't looked at yet.
This is in front of my home.
My God, there's so much going on there. Ugh.
Now that's the picture where you see on top of the house. There's a little white dot up there. That's the orb. I mean, the orb, and right underneath it, if you can, I don't know if you can zoom in on it or not, but that's a demon face or something demonic or something evil. And you can see the hoof actually extending outward, the leg and the hoof, like it was walking. And in the background, I sent you a second picture. It pretty much shows you everything what's going on in that photo. And this was taken by one of the paranormal investigators that came to my house.
Here's the second one. So it's the same picture.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But pointed out.
Okay, right there you have a black mist that's coming around the bird bath. It's just coming out of the ground. And in the original picture, you can actually see orbs coming out of the ground. Then you see in the background that big red circle. That is an actual portal that's opening up in the background. It's an open portal.
So there's no lights that can reflect back there, right? There's nothing. Lighting?
Nothing. There's a house back there, but I mean, we tried to debunk it. They tried to debunk it, and they took multiple pictures, and they couldn't recreate it. Now, you also down by the bottom of the steps there, on the bottom landing of the porch, you see orbs. They have red ones. They have a green one. I mean, it looks like somebody threw Skittles in my yard. And then there's a disembodied hand right above it on the rail.
Yeah. I'm zooming in on my phone.
And what makes it so special around in Louisiana, we have lightning storms. That charges the atmosphere. And we've done these at a LaFontaine Cemetery in Lacombe, Louisiana.
Yeah.
And let's see, that one. And then you're going to see.
Oh, that's look at it. I didn't know it was going to do that. I moved the. Hold on, let's exit out of this.
This was at a cemetery when the spirit was actually attacked. Was trying to actually attach itself to me.
Okay. Oh, yep. You just sent me some more.
Yeah, I'm sending you a bunch.
Okay.
Then you can see where this is all evidence that we've captured. I mean, when I go on an investigation, for some reason, I can tell you if the place is active or not. I mean, and this is when it was fully involved with me.
Yeah, that looks like naughty pictures.
It looks like not
you hold it up like
that. Well, Howard, nice to get to know you so much.
Gives a whole new meaning to double exposure. It's a fat guy. Where is it?
While we're talking about you sending me photos, by the way, like if you want readings on any of these, like let me know.
Go for it. Knock yourself out.
Official medium readings. I'm actually doing that next week. I'm going to be, instead of having a guest, I'm going to be doing live readings for people. Knock
yourself out.
If anybody jumps, but I will say this, because I want to say this: your outside of your house feels a lot more uncomfortable than the inside of your house, in my opinion.
We've actually inside the house. I don't burn. I mean, sage is a purifying agent.
Right.
So that's like you're purifying evil. If something evil here, you're just purifying evil. You don't want to do that. Yeah. You don't want to use that. Use pommel sticks. That's more like a gunshot to an entity or something that's in your home that you were trying to get rid of. But the nuclear bomb is camphor. Use camphor. You can burn it, or you can grind it up and put it in water and spray it.
Yeah.
And that stuff is like a nuclear bomb. It gets rid of everything. Like I was telling you, elementals, everything.
Yeah.
And the only way to come back, you have to invite that stuff back into your home or into the property.
Gotcha. Well, I will say one thing that I felt when I was looking at your outside photo. I will say this: there was something that was beast-like that I was feeling. I know we talked about the entity with the hoofs or whatever, but this one feels more bulky, more gray in color. So I don't know if you guys have encountered anything like this one before. It's more like a dog type entity. So
that's what we think. That's what's Nick Muir. Whoa, what's with the GIF?
What's with what?
GIF.
The GIF.
Nick. Yeah. But there's all kinds of stuff that's happening here. I mean, I'm used to it. I can go into a haunted location. There's nothing I don't do anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, we was at the temple, and they were like, "You don't want to go down in that hole? I'll give me a flashlight. I'm down in that hole." Yeah, no, the ladder's too rickety. Look, there's a ladder right over there. I'll climb down this sucker. I mean, I don't care. I mean, I was at Myrtle's Plantation, and my co-owner with me on all our stuff is Gabe Herrera, and he was doing a Myrtle's Plantation, and we was in the doll's room, and it's dark in there in the room itself, and I hate freaking porcelain dolls. I'm gonna tell you that now. I hate that shit. And
I got some right here.
Yeah, I know. I was looking at that, and
that's Clarissa. That's her name. It was a doll.
I can tell you why after the show, but I'll tell you why after the show. But anyway, because I know you ain't got that much time. But
I know.
Gabe looks over at me and he says, "Howdy," and he speaks in a broken Spanish, Spangle, whatever they call it, Spanglish, and he says, "I said, what, Gabe? Get in the closet." Okay. So I'm in this closet, and they got a video. I mean, they got night cameras on me and everything. Yeah. And, you see all these orbs floating around me, and I'm trying to get these little girls to move a ball or something, because there's supposed to be little girls that's haunting the place also.
Okay.
And you see an orb, and my hand's up, like, next to me, and you see this orb just comes down and just touches me. I didn't even notice it. I didn't, you don't see orbs like that, because it's one thing, it's dark as hell. I mean, in black. And I'm just asking questions. And I just felt 3 little cold fingers touch me. And at that same time, I yelled, "Gabe, you catching anything? You catching anything?" And that's when you see the orb touch my arm. So that's why now I have a different take on orbs. I think they're actually balls of energy of once living people.
I could see that. I'm not against, like, I know orbs
Yes.
can be overrated, but I'm not against actual orbs, being an entity.
laugh.
It can be an entity.
William's laughing at what probably what Nick say, how that's when he came out of the
Yeah.
closet.
Yes.
I had Gracie, the ghosty girl, 11-year-old girl. I was telling the story, and then she's like, "Is that when you came out of the closet?" Huh? And she kept asking me, "When did you come out of the closet? When did you come out of the closet?" And I just announced it. I did. I flat out announced it. Yes, I'm announcing it now. Yes, I am a heterosexual. Sorry.
Well,
So every time I see her, she's always asking me that.
Yeah.
So,
all right. Well, we
looks
do
like they
have
booted
13.
you out, huh?
What's that?
Looks like they booted you out. But anyway.
They booted who out?
Oh, no. I lost. That's one thing that goes on in my house. A lot of electronics will just, when I'm talking about certain things, they'll go on and off and stuff like that. Certain subjects I'm not supposed to talk about.
Shame, yeah.
Yeah.
So we do have to wrap up because it's, 13 Dimension thinks they have to come on right after us. So I'm just kidding, everybody. Go watch that show.
I'm gonna call Crystal up.
I like, we got more stories to tell over here. But yeah, I do want to say, Howard, thank you so much for coming on my show. It was an honor to have you on here because I've heard so much about you. And
you heard how crazy SOB.
I heard how crazy you are. But what I love about that, though, because everybody is not always you're not always what everybody says you are. And this gave me the opportunity to get to know you and get to know a little more about you. And not just crazy Howard. I think there's a lot there to you. So I really appreciate you.
You really don't want to open up that much to that who you are, that persona type thing. I mean, my Facebook page is basic. I mean, and I don't get on there very much, but I do check everything out and stuff like that. So, and of course, I'd like for y'all to come on my shows, especially Pitre Dish, and you can get a taste of what you're really crazy's about.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, we'll definitely discuss that too. I just got to pull the calendar out and look. But next week, guys, don't forget, I am going to be doing live readings. I'm going back to my roots, getting online, pulling up those photos, and send your photos. We'll probably do it. I'll explain it next week, but send me your photos next week live, and I will read your photos for you.
I'll send you some photos.
Photos that I can appropriately read and share on Facebook and YouTube. I mean, just cover the necessary parts, and I guess whatever you want to send, Howard.
I'll wear my thong and some pasties.
So be warned, next week we might get some interesting photos. But anyways, everybody, thank you so much for dropping in, and we will all see you next week. Bye.